What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, last time we had found all the materials we needed for making that motorcycle wheel. Well, as it turns out, we didn't need it. There was a cruiser here that had both wheels right over here. Not even very far from where we were. The only thing that this thing was missing was the headlight and the seat, which I already had. So the last two episodes of looking for pieces of rubber to make a wheel, we could have just avoided had I come slightly further over this way. But anywho, we have us a functional motorcycle now. It doesn't have a passenger seat, but that doesn't really matter because, don't have a passenger. But I've already got it loaded up with a hiking backpack, a car jack, and inside the hiking backpack, I have those two other backpacks that we found. Sorry if you can hear my cat scratching on a scratching post over there. Buddy, do you really need to do that right now? I'm sure you guys can hear that in the background. The microphone pickup on my recording software is saying you can definitely hear it. But anywho, so we got these, and I don't remember what all we said in terms of numbers for like scrap and bolts for making the saddlebags, since we're not allowed to use the traders in this season, so I can't buy the saddlebags and you can't just find them. So we're going to sacrifice materials in order to make the saddlebags. But we still need, in my opinion, a piece of leather to make kind of the strap that would go across the top of the fender to hold these. You would take these, and actually, I guess we don't even necessarily need the scrap and whatnot, but since we're using pre-existing backpacks, we don't need the scrap for, fashioning buckles. But the bolts, you'd need for probably, actually attaching it. You've got these, mounts here. But we still need a piece of leather for fabricating that piece that would actually attach these two together and let them be attached to the motorcycle. So, I guess since we don't necessarily, you know what, we can sacrifice the scrap, we'll say we're using it for reinforcement of something or whatever, I don't care. I already have it out, I don't feel like putting it back away. Anywho, so we're gonna go find us a friendo and see if we can't get us some leather. And then, one of you pointed out that there is a World War II bunker, I think, right up here. So we're going to go check that out and see if we can't maybe find us something. I'm really hoping for an M1, but, we'll take whatever we can get, I suppose, right? Right, okay. And then we're going to start making our way up to the D4 airfield. Because one of you mentioned in the last video that the puppets right now seem too slow. And I don't disagree when they're out in the open like this. That's why we turned hordes back on, too, was to make it more challenging. But, when they're out in the open and you're only facing one or two at a time, yeah, they're definitely slow. But that's kind of the point. They're supposed to be more like traditional zombies. Slow but tough to kill, but if they get a hold of you, you're in trouble. And so that's kind of how I want them to be. With a traditional zombie, one zombie is not going to be a threat at all unless it sneaks up on you. But a single zombie is not going to be a threat. The threat comes when there's a lot of them because you can't take them down easily, and they can take you down easily. Uh-oh. Great. You're not zombies. No, but you might, you might attract some and deal with them for me. I really appreciate how well the puppets can take down the NPCs now. Where are you? Was it just the one? You want pants? Nope, was not just one. I'm assuming they're in that building there. But they don't seem to be coming out. Whoop. Nope, that's a puppet. Go get in there, deal with them. Or just come over here, I don't care. Ka-chow. Oh. Just over your head. And yeah, when you said I should stop going for headshots. I really want there to be a headshots only mode for SCUM. For the puppets, anyway. You know, to where they require a headshot to go down. I really don't want to get into a firefight with these guys. There we go. There's the skin I needed. Just from the standpoint of, I don't have any suppressed weapons. And I don't really want to draw a horde down on top of myself. Just to deal with those goobers, because they're not going to have anything useful to me. You know, we didn't hear any gunfire when they got attacked by the puppets, so they're almost certainly just tier 1s. Maybe tier 2s. But the point is, they're not going to have anything good on them. And it's not worth it to me, you know, risking confrontation with them and drawing a horde just to get a, you know, a wooden sword, you know, maybe an improvised crossbow, that kind of stuff. You know, there's no need for it. Anywho, we got us a skin now. We got us the backpacks. And, you know, we can't actually craft this stuff. I hope that they make it to where you can. But what we're going to do is just put all this stuff in the backpacks and then just leave the backpacks here and then spawn in the saddlebags. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Ha 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 ha. And now we have saddlebags. I hope that you guys are okay with us doing it that way. Like I say, we're sacrificing all of the materials for crafting this stuff, since we can't actually craft it and I'm not allowed to use the traders. So this is the only way that we can get the saddlebags. Let's see. I have in here somewheres a gooder backpack. This one. There we go. Perfect. You are made for this. Now, it bugs me that these saddlebags are not two different storages. You know, they should be. There's two saddlebags. Why is it one storage, you know, one piece of storage? You know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There should be two. You know, there should be two separate bags. And in my opinion, they should each have about the amount of carry space as one of these backpacks. You know, these are not huge backpacks. You know, but that would seem fair to me. But whatever. Anywho, let's see. We've got some water on us. We don't have any food though. We should probably grab something for food out of the tractor before we get on our way, huh? I know we got something in here for food. Also, how are our batteries in this doing? They're okay. Actually, I have spare batteries on me, don't I? Yes, I do. I've got some spare batteries already. Fantastic. 1.8, 1.6. Those are good enough. Let's see. I know we have food in here. Well, there, we could take some corn with us. Why not? Stuff that in the backpack. Sure, we got some broccoli. We'll take that. We could take the milk. Actually, how are we doing on stuff and things? I need vitamin D. Let's drink some milk here. No, don't drink all the milk, but maybe take a couple of swigs of it. There we go. Perfect. I hear a chicken. Also, I'm curious, where do you guys know where the heck I put all of the other parts for the motorcycle? Because I couldn't find very many of them. Like I thought we stripped a motorcycle, and so we should have had the front wheel. Um, I thought we had like a fender, and or like both fenders even potentially, and I the only thing I could find in here was the headlight, and I went back to the motorcycle at the gas station here in town and stole the seat off of it. But I don't know where I put the rest of the stuff. I checked all of the chests, so I don't know where it went. But ooh, we got cornflakes. There we go. Breakfast of champions right there. Do we have anything that I could just use? No. Okay. Great. Fair enough. Let's see. We don't need two separate needles. Okay. Because we still got plenty of uses on this sewing kit. I'm just looking at where we could put food that's just, not just in the backpack. But honestly, it'll be fine. I mean, we could put it in here, I suppose. I like the hiking backpacks because they're long, or not the hiking backpacks. I do like the hiking backpacks, but I like the assault backpacks because they are long enough that you can store most long guns in them without any kind of issues. But anywho, let's put you guys down in here for now. Perfect. Okie dokie. Well, let's go check out this World War II bunker, shall we? I hope that they make an ability to armor the motorcycles a little bit. Like with the fairing that you can get on the front. You ought to be able to, put some reinforced armor on that, at least. Just to, as a frontal shield. I'm not talking about trying to enclose the whole thing in armor, but I feel like you should at least be able to armor that. But maybe that's just me. Anywho, let's see. I hope they add a feature to where you can zoom in on the map, but we're kind of in a little dead-end road, as you can see here. I think we need to go out this way, and when we get, this kind of curves around to the left. When we get out of there, we need to take a right. So the motorcycle just looks too small. It does. Look at it. His arms are way too bent. It doesn't look like it fits him very well. It looks like almost like one of the mini bikes that you see at some like farm stores. I don't know if you guys have stuff like, Tractor Supply or Orscheln or anything like that, but they sell like the little Like 200cc little mini farm bikes. They don't really have any suspension or anything like that. They're pull start, you know, go about 20, 25 miles an hour or something like that. Yeah, you hear a noise. Screw you. Let's see. Did I already go too far? Is that bunker across there? Whoa! Oh, crap. Woo! You do have guns. Hi. I think I may have gone too far already, but that's okay. We can cut through here. Because the cruiser handles surprisingly well off-road. Oh, we were not where I thought we were. Okay, we were in here. I thought we were up here. Alrighty, well, we need to go just kind of straight north, don't we? Oh, there's a rock there. I found a rock. Whoa! Whoa! No, 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 no! No, 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 no. Push it up, up. No, it's full. Oh, you. Oh, that's some supreme bullshit there. Oh. And there was a bridge right frickin' there. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, son of a... That's one thing that pisses me off with this game, honestly. Your vehicle gets submerged like that, and it's utterly destroyed. You can't salvage anything off of it. And here's the thing. I've seen motorcycles driven through water deeper than this before. Yeah, they may not run very well afterwards, but I've seen it done. It doesn't destroy the whole frickin' thing. I'm gonna call a little bit of bullshit on that. And considering how much time we've already invested into getting that thing, I'm just gonna spawn us in a new motorcycle. I hope you guys are okay with that. No, that's not the right button. But we lost backpacks, we lost... vehicle repair kits. I don't really care too much about that. But like I said, we've spent so long putting that frickin' bike together just for it to then get utterly destroyed because it touched water. That bugs me so much. I really hope that they fix that to where your vehicles don't just get utterly destroyed. I mean, that's down to the frame. There's nothing salvageable. And the stuff that we had on it, not salvageable. It just all, boom, disappears. Anything that you had in it is gone now. That's just... Sorry, you know what? You guys don't have to sit here and watch me spawn this stuff back in. I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay, and we're back. I got our stuff back. Sorry, I know that's a bit cheaty, but again, that's just some bullshit right there. After all the time that we put into getting the bike, to then lose it to some random crap like that is just it bugs me. So it was either spawn the stuff back in or just stop playing the game for a little while. And I know that a lot of you have experienced that kind of frustration with Scum. Just for just a random crap like that. It doesn't make sense. And I hate it. I really do. There's definitely some improvements that need to be made. Now, we ought to be getting close to this bunker. Should be northeast of us, so it should actually be this way. According to the map, anyway. Should be kind of in this construction area over here. Oh, howdy, friendo. You go do stuff and things over elsewhere. Where is this bunker? I know there's a bunker around here. Should be kind of back here. According to the admin helper map. Hey, there it is right there. What do you know? Perfect. Okay. Again, I hope you guys are okay with me spawning our stuff back in, because that was just ridiculous. No. Good. I really, really want, with the inventory rework, I want to be able to assign these two slots. So the shotgun will always stay where I put it. The bow will always stay where I put it. You could do things like, David, I think it was you that mentioned being able to just assign a place in your inventory for certain things. So, like, say, a cleaver. You could assign a slot just in your backpack, and it would always go back to that slot rather than trying to attach itself to your shoulder. And then you lose the rifle that you had up here because now there's a tiny little cleaver magnetized to your shoulder. Sorry that this episode may be a fair bit of complaining. To be fair, the game kind of deserves it a lot of times. There's this game, while I love this game, I do, I really do, there's a lot of improvements that could be made, and that should have been made a long time ago, if we're being honest. You know, I think we can all agree on that while Scum is still a great game and a fun game, it leaves a lot to be desired in certain aspects. I guess we should start collecting bolts again, shouldn't we? I don't see anything up here. No, it's because there's nothing up here. I actually kind of like this location for this World War II bunker. It's close to the city, so if you wanted to use something like this as a base, you could, and still be able to explore the city. Now, one of you also said that the survivor's loft is over here on this edge of town. I'm not sure exactly where, but we can try to find it, because I would like to show it to you guys for those of you that haven't seen it before. It's a pretty cool little spot. Some really crappy buckshot. Man, that's really bad condition stuff. We can take that and use it for, like, if we find the double barrel shotgun. What are you? Oh, another ballista. I have one already, thank you, and mine's not in garbage condition. Hey, that ought to work, though. The box is in bad condition. The ammo inside should still be good. Honestly, heck yeah, if I could find a Mosin, that'd be awesome. Wool gloves, I don't care about those. What do you guys think of the World War II bunkers? I like them. I like them and I don't like them. I'm not taking birdshot. Especially against the puppets we have now, birdshot would be utterly useless. I just wish you could do more with them. I miss being able to fortify prefab buildings. Well, let's finish searching this. But, you know, one of these would make for a really nice little base. But they're just so limited because you can't actually build in here. It's one slug. I'm not going to bother taking one slug of junk quality. And hurting the good quality slugs that we have. 45s, that's a lot of them. But they're really crappy quality. You know what? Screw it, we'll take them. Probably a mistake, but you know. But something else I'd like to see is the ability to remove stuff like this. You know, just all of the junk in here. I wish that you could deconstruct this stuff, because, like, you ought to be able to get, you know, some, you know, a couple of planks and maybe some nails, you know, out of this table. Maybe some scrap metal, you know, same thing with these chests, you know, or like in world chests like this, I wish that it was just a storage box. You know, so you search it and it has an inventory. You know, maybe it's not huge, but it'd be an inventory that you could then put things in. You know, I would like to see something like that. I know that they'll never add that to Scum. It's not the kind of thing they're going for, it seems. But like with these bunkers, I would love to be able to, you know, cover this. You know, put up a wall here, you know, to where you could actually have this be secured. Because right now there's nothing that you can really do. You know, you can't put in a door or anything like that here because you can't build in the bunkers at all. And that's very unfortunate. Because these would make for some really cool little bases, you know? Now, I don't know exactly where the survivor's loft is, but I was thinking it was on the kind of main road through town here, so I think maybe we head back down to that and see what we can find. Now, the problem with the cruiser is, well, with any vehicle really, I guess, they're loud. But, again, the puppets are slow. So, we'll probably be fine until we trigger a horde. Even then, on something like this, we can outrun a horde pretty easily. So, I think, and I could be wrong. Actually, is it even... It could even be down this way. I don't remember where it is. Is it this right here? Yeah, it's this right here. You see, you got like a fire escape ladder here. We actually had one of those when I was a kid. You asshole! How dare you? I need to do some testing with different types of arrows to see just how much more effective like the metal tipped arrows would be than these pointy sticks. You still have 12 pages in you. We'll take it. But, yeah, this little survivor's loft here. So you've got like this retractable escape ladder. We had one that you like hang on a windowsill and, you know, roll it out the window as a fire escape for the second story of our house when I was a kid. Fortunately, we never had to use it, but anyway. I like this. I didn't realize it was this far onto the outskirts of town. That actually makes it perfect. Anywho. Hey, climb up this. And this is the only way up to this floor is this ladder. But you climb up here. And there's actually some military crates up here. I kind of forgot about those. But you got a couple of nice sofas here. Oh, you can't go through either of those doors, huh? Okay. But then you got stairs going up to a nice little loft area. It's not huge, but, you know, I don't need cash since we can't use the traders. But there's a few more little military crates up here. I can't do anything with that. I can't do anything with that. I don't think, anyway. You know what? I can't remember when 9x39 came out. But I'm pretty sure we can't use it. But we're going to take it for the moment. I'll do some research on it after the video, or if you guys want to look it up for me and let me know in the comments, then we can determine whether or not to discard it. It would be handy if we could use it, because 9x39 is subsonic, and, you know, the VSS and the VAL have integral suppressors, so it would be handy to be able to use, but I'm pretty sure we can't. Anywho, I just like this. It's a cool little loft area thing here. So I'm debating about doing kind of a role play series in the future, and, you know, we start our character off here. You know, all the bad stuff has gone down. You know, the city's been in chaos for a while now. Our character has been holding up in here. You know, and this is where we would start, and then, you know, we would start out by, you know, the first few episodes would probably be kind of checking the city for whatever supplies we could gather, and then we get the hell out of Dodge and go, you know, look for something more permanent and safer. So that's just kind of an idea that I'd been tossing around for starting a new series in the future. Let me know what you guys think of that, or if you have any suggestions on making it better, because I know a lot of times my ideas are not great. They're kind of what I can come up with, and a lot of times it's a whole bunch of, you know what, I'll take that. A lot of times it's just kind of a whole bunch of whatever random thoughts pop into my brain hole. Okay. Well, let's get out of here. And yeah, we're going to make our way up to the airfield there, because I want to see what kind of puppet density we get. I want to see how the puppets are going to be when we're in a more densely packed area. So, like, especially when we get inside the bunker up there, that's when we're going to start seeing the puppets be dangerous. Because right now, yeah, I agree. They're not particularly dangerous because they're slow enough I can stay away from them out in the open. And I can just kind of keep peppering them Now we got 3 of them right here. You know what? Let's try something real quick, just because I'm probably really stupid. Hi, Rarg. You guys, hi there. Come here. Did you see me? You saw me. Good. Excellent. Okay, so we got 3 of them coming after us now. Uh-oh. Now, that was just 3 of them. And that used up 2 full stacks of arrows. And that was still out in the open where we can get away from them. And I saw them ahead of time. So that right there just kind of goes to show how the puppets can be. Again, that's 3 of them still out in the open, and I got a good head start on them. And they exhausted 2/3 of our supply of arrows just with 3 of them. Now, yeah, I could have taken them out much much quicker with the shotgun. But doing that meant likely drawing a horde. So I think once we get down into a bunker or just some other, more confined area where there's going to be a lot more of them, I think that's when we're going to start seeing the puppets being really dangerous. So let me know if you guys are good with that, or if you think we should adjust the puppets some. Now, something we could also do, we've got some options to make things more interesting. And I've kind of tossed around some ideas. Oh, that jacket's got my lockpicking stuff in it. Drat. Okay. Hey, I'm still using that. I thought I'd found a utility belt. Well, that's okay. Anywho, let's move this stuff to down here. Doodly, doodly, doodly. Lockpicks. What doesn't weigh much? Lockpicks don't. Fantastic. You can go in the boots. Actually, go there. You go down here. And then you go there. Batteries can go there. Perfect. Bobby pins. Do we have just one? No, of course we don't. Why would we? There we go. Now, jacket, you can come off. But we've got some options for the puppets. We could make them faster. If we do, we're probably going to nerf their damage a little bit. Either their damage or their health. One of the two. Because we can't have puppets that are that hard to kill and also fast and can, take me out in 1 or 2 hits. So we have to have some kind of balance. And right now the balance is not, it's not great for being out in the open. I think it'll be a lot better in confined spaces. So another option would be we could kind of tailor the zombies to the location. So like if we're out here in the city, we can, speed them up a little bit. But if we go inside a bunker or something like that, knock their speed back down. We'll see. We'll figure something out. Something else we could do, I had mentioned this in the comments, is we could, just to make things more interesting, not allow the usage of bows. So we'd be using firearms, which would mean we would attract hordes constantly if we're trying to use firearms. So the only way to avoid, potentially triggering a horde would be to use melee weapons. And with the puppets being able to soak up the amount of damage that they can, and also output the amount of damage that they can, that would make things pretty dicey. So that's an option that we have as well. So let me know what you guys think. Just let me know what you think on the current puppets. I'm not going to change anything about them yet. We're going to test them, the current setup with them, in this bunker here. That's a weird mirage feature behind the bike. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but we start moving. See how you get that kind of streak behind the bike? Let's see, what direction we need to go here? I think this way. No, not this way. But we're going to test the puppets down here in the bunker before we make any kind of decisions on changing them. But let me know what you guys would like to see. Let's see. I'm planning to go up this way and just come in here. I'm debating about checking out that little farm, village thing, whatever, first, though. Is this a... Oh, this might actually be a little community. Oh, it's just, I mean, it's... Well, hey, there's a bicycle. I mean, no, it's a farm. Oh, dang, they can hear me from a good ways off. Look, oh no, they're going after a chicken. This one, well, no, what are you going after? Huh. I don't know, maybe he's going after a different chicken. Man, they really like chickens, though. Look at that. Well, let's see if we can attract some friends. Or not. You gotta get close to them. Otherwise, they're just kind of like, la 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 la. Howdy, friendo. Howdy, other friendo. You're still kind of oblivious, aren't you? There we go. Now we're kind of getting a crowd here. Let's see. Man, that's a real aggressive sounding horn, isn't it? Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Well, we got some friends coming now. They're still out in the open, and we still have a head start on them. Doodly, 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 friendos. They're going after the chicken again. Let me help. I can come after the chicken, too. Can I chase the chicken with you guys? Chicken! Chicken! Guys, I'm not sure where the chicken is. I don't see it over here. Chicken! Where'd you go, chicken? Guys, where's the chicken? Where's the chicken? I'm not sure if you guys know where the chicken is. But see, like out here in the open, I can get away from these guys. In a confined area, that's not gonna happen. You know. Now, maybe we go ahead and speed them up a little bit. Their speed is the slowest that it can be. It's half speed. Oh, I hear the chicken. I think they may have killed the chicken. So we could set them to like 3/4 speed, maybe. We definitely don't want them to be full speed with what they can do right now. But, well, here. Let's see. Where is that? Health. Okay, so they're at 4 times health right now. Let's try 0.75 speed. Okie dokie. Oh, we can only have 2 NPCs right now. Let's set that back to that, shall we? Make things a little more interesting anyway. Okay, but see, we've got puppet numbers maxed out. Well, actually, I guess, are they maxed out? Can we do them to 1024? Yeah, we can. Okay. Well, we can try that. And then encounter, yeah, that's maxed out. Extra characters maxed out. Okay. Noise response rate. This is where they can hear each other scream. So, okay. Well, let's try those settings. What do you think? Now, see, I can still back away from them faster than they can get to me. But these, I mean, those are the slower ones to begin with. Whew, that does make them a little bit more skedaddly, doesn't it? But I can at least outrun them. What do you guys think on that speed? They can still cover some distance, but I can still easily outrun them. Here, how about I can still back away from them faster than they can catch up to me. The standard ones might actually be able to catch, keep up with me when I'm backing up like that. I don't know. I can't tell if I'm putting distance between me and him or not. But that makes me think that the skinny ones would be able to keep up with me like that. What do you think on that speed? That seems pretty reasonable to me. And we might, like I said, when we go inside the bunker, we might slow them down. But for just kind of general world population, what do you think on that kind of speed? I can outrun them there on foot. I think that seems reasonable. Good. Whew, that was close. You have the rest of my arrows, and I want them back, please. Thank you. I don't think you have any more. It looks like we're missing 2, but I missed a couple of shots, so yeah. Okay. Well, I think maybe we try that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think we should slow them down, back to what they were before, or if you think this speed here is better. Um, Also, let me know what you think of their health. Like I said, right now their health is at 4. Their damage is at like 6 or 7. And their speed is now at 3/4 of the normal speed. So let me know what you guys think of those settings. And I'm hoping now that bump the puppet numbers back up to maximum. The thing is, with 500, that's still what can appear across the entire map. And since I'm the only person here because it's single player, they're not going to appear anywhere but near me. Which means, there's only going to be the maximum number of puppets that can spawn in a given location. And if you have 500 puppets that can spawn in a location, that's going to be a crap ton of puppets, So, I don't know that that's going to make much of a difference, but we'll see. Anywho, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Next time, we will get up to the airfield there and see what we can see up yonder ways. And we'll see how quickly we die once we get down into the bunker, considering we only have a bow and arrow and unsuppressed weapons. Unsuppressed low-capacity weapons, even. So, yeah. I guess just let me know what you guys think of the current settings. Let me know if you guys have suggestions for how to make it better. And let me know what you guys think of the current parameters for this season as far as, the weapons restrictions and that kind of thing. Originally, with those restrictions, I was not intending to make the puppets, more difficult and, to where the weapons that we could use were pretty fitting. Now that they are tougher, let me know if you guys think we should still be restricted the way that we are. I'm personally fine with it. I think it'll make it a lot more interesting because we're going to have to approach situations a lot more cautiously. We can't just go in guns blazing, Even if we get the best one that we can, which would be the standard AK, that's still going to be a challenge given their health now. And it's still going to potentially be a problem because even running a suppressor, you still occasionally trigger hordes. So, anywho, let me know what you guys think. I guess with that being said, if you guys like the video, I would greatly appreciate you hitting that like button. As well as if you'd like to see more content, I would greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It would really help the channel grow. And with all that being said, I'm going to plug the links in the description as per usual. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So if you'd like to go support either of those charities, please check out those links. Then we have my Discord server, as well as the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. That is the... Thought I heard a grumbles. Anyway, that's the multiplayer server that I do all of my live streams on. It's a nice chill PvE server. We have player-to-player damage turned off, so it is pure PvE. You can't kill other players or be killed by other players. And it has pretty similar settings to what I've got here. So, it doesn't have the tougher puppets. Let me be clear about that. It does not have the tougher puppets. They're just default puppets in terms of damage, speed, strength, health, etc. But we have puppet numbers maxed out. Um, I think animal numbers maxed out too. And then no drop ships or sentries. So it's a nice kind of chill server to hang out on. If that sounds like something you'd like to try, go check out the link for the Discord. Make sure you read the server rules page. That'll tell you the rules and the settings for the server. And if it sounds like a good fit for you, contact either myself, Necros, or Cornbread through Discord. We are the admins for the server. We'll have a couple of questions for you, and then we can get you set up with the password. And then we have my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including ambient rain videos, comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she posts informational content on various paranormal locations, as well as some evidence that we have captured because we are amateur paranormal investigators. And then we do family live streams over there where we play games like Phasmophobia and Ghost Exile. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.